Sparking Change for Harmonious Living is a TV show that inspires action. It motivates you to start a journey towards a more balanced, fulfilling life. This show explores well-being through spirituality, mental clarity, and physical health. It covers topics like mindfulness, nutrition, fitness, and spirituality, giving you practical advice to enhance your life. Tune in for a transformative adventure that ignites the change you seek.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sparking Change for Harmonious Living. I am your host, Giovanna Tardarone.
And I'm your co-host, Ahmed Bahman.
Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome.
Happy New Year's.
On today's episode, I thought, why not start with just going through what is new that we can do the new year, and how can we create more harmonious living by taking control from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed. And that is by truly incorporating some practices that I know for myself, and Ahmed can also speak to that, that are truly essential for us to really have a good plan on how we want to see the results in our life. And it really starts by taking control of what we do on a daily basis. So, Ahmed, let's talk about first is, what do we mean by daily alignment? I think it's very important that at least the word alignment to describe, so people have a good idea of what do we mean when we say alignment.
Well, in other words, I like to express in a way that people are usually aligned with things that they don't want, right? So, and if they want to do something different in their life, especially like now we moved into 2024,
Yes.
so we have a fresh, clean start, right? This would be our year. They they get a beautiful idea to do something. Now they're thinking they want to do it. Their feeling is a bit off, and they're doing something completely different. This is a misalignment. A misalignment due to a misunderstanding of who we are.
Right.
However, if we have our thoughts, feelings, and actions going in the same direction, then we are onto something. We can really say that we are in alignment with our desires.
Beautiful, beautifully said. And there's practices that can help us to do that. I mean, and it's not something new that people have heard of about meditation or having a spiritual practice, but what is the benefit of this daily, having a daily practice um, in our lives? And then we can talk about maybe some of the things that are part of it. But the importance of it is really something that I want people to become aware of. Why is it important to have this daily alignment?
Well, you see, if you want something different in your life, usually change is uncomfortable, right?
Mm,
And you're habitually used to a different path or a different way of doing things or going somewhere in a certain way in life, that is. So what we require is self-discipline.
oh,
This is
that's
the
right.
thing. That's rule number one. Why do we require self-discipline and to maintain this on a daily basis? Because it takes time to form a habit.
You're forming a new
It takes
habit.
time. Yes. Initially, it's uncomfortable,
Hmm.
but as soon as it becomes natural to you as
Hmm.
your state of being, it's no more something called trying to maintain your self-discipline going through difficulty anymore. Reluctantly,
It's
you just
automatic.
go ahead and do it. Automatic. That's
And
it.
you spoke about discipline, and I'll just mention that you come to the discipline camp, and I go to the discipline camp, and we get up at 5:30 in the morning, and we have a ritual, right? We do meditation. We write in our journal things that we're grateful for, 10 things we're grateful for. And we really set the intention. We write out our goal. We listen to Earl Nightingale. So we're feeding our mind and putting the intention to really set the day where we are more in control. And this is what
Abs-
I see with being disciplined is you're giving yourself a command and you're following it and you're going through it,
yes,
and eventually you'll see a change because you're building the
yes,
discipline and the new habit.
yeah, and this is, and it's so essential. And here's the thing: my habits are my responsibility. Your habits are your responsibility. You know, when it came to regarding health, I remember one time Jim Rohn, he said he was struggling. You know, he was trying to, for example, make someone he cares about healthy. In the end, he realized one thing. And he said a beautiful statement. He said, I will take care of myself for you. Would you take care of yourself for me? Because
Wow.
eventually it all comes down to habit, right? But the key point is that each individual is responsible for their own action and well being.
So beautifully said. And it's so true because we look on the outside to give us what we need on the inside. And the truth of the matter is it's all within us, within, for us to feel what we only know what we need, right? Someone else on the outside does not know what we
Absolutely.
need. But let's go through some of the areas that can really help people to be more aligned and to incorporate some daily practices in their
Well,
lives.
first thing, I would really suggest someone to sit down and ask themselves uh, an honest and authentic question. Am I really where I want to be? And if not, why not? What are the things that I'm doing today that is not enriching me to reach where I want to be? Believe me, when you ask yourself certain questions, you will get the answers automatically. Then you ask yourself another question. What are the things that I can do to get me from where I am to where I want to be? I want everybody to entertain where they want to be, but in their imagination that they are already there. The answers will always show up. The conditions, the environment, the people, they will always show up. Your answers will be revealed to you.
What does our mentor say? What do you want?
You want.
Ask yourself that question. What do you want for yourself? Because first we have to focus on ourselves in order to help others.
Yes, and we have principles, and they're beautiful principles. Like if you read Napoleon Hill's book Think and Grow Rich, or if you read Raymond Hollywood's book Working with the Law, there are beautiful principles. Now there are certain laws, right? And they will explain to you what are the ways that you can use each law to your benefit, that you may grow as a person, as an individual,
Mhm.
into a new state of being in order for you to become a different person. And as you become a different person, your environment gradually will start to shift. You would start to think, what's going on? Why is everything changing? You don't realize that on a subliminal level, on a subconscious level, as you keep entertaining healthy thoughts, empowering ideas, that you're actually changing your conditioning from within you. Therefore, what is outside? It's nothing but a reflection of
That's
what?
right.
These are conditions that reflects your own conditioning.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. It's, the conditioning that we have. And since we're on autopilot, it's conditioned that we have that are beliefs that are there since, when we are little, right? So the
Yes.
work that needs to be done in order to see the outside world different, your environment different, is you must take a look at what are your beliefs about different things in your life that are they
Yes.
can actually be um, hurting you from taking the next step to where you really want to be,
Absolutely.
right?
You know, your beliefs and habit makes up your mindset. The same thing, intention and alignment helps you with manifestation. But you got to intend what you want to do because intention is something from your heart. You know, as James Allen stated, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You know, it's
Absolutely.
all about who you are. You know, you can never attract anything that you want, but you can always attract who you what you are or who you are as a person. So getting into the state of being of things is essential and necessary to achieve any desired result.
The state of being grateful, the state
Yes.
of being happy, right? In
Yes.
order to
My
achieve this.
princess or Bianca.
Sorry about that. Um, the state of being, in alignment starts with what you just said. It's how are we being first? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, you know, as if we go back to when a person thinks he wants to do something, but his feeling is not aligned, and then the person ends up doing something completely different, it's because as long as you're doing something different than what you are thinking to do,
Hmm.
you have not made it part of your state of being. Now, our late mentor Bob Proctor said, when your thoughts and feelings and actions are aligned, that means you have managed to incorporate it as a state of being. The body will always move in the direction of whatever you've been entertaining the longest in the mind. And anything you entertain the longest becomes the strongest. Therefore, your thoughts creates the feelings, and the feelings will cause you to take the necessary actions. But at the same time, once your state of being is aligned, you also set yourself up for an attraction for the thing you desire at the same time, simultaneously, as within, so without.
And that's exactly when you say thoughts, feelings, and actions
An
create the
action.
results that we see
Yes.
in our life.
You as long as you hold on to desire, what
Hmm.
is it that you want, plus you expect it. You see, expectation, the law of attraction is desire plus expectation. Expectation is like imagine you're fishing and then you have a reel on the rod. Now expectation is like you keep rolling onto that reel in order to pull what you want towards you, right?
I,
But
yeah.
most people, when they reach that part, there are sometimes they things happen in delay because they fret and worry. The receiving does not take place is because they're constantly in a state of stress. Where is it going to come from? It's none of your concern how it's going to happen. You need to relax. Just know that the law works and it shall come to you based on your faith. If you believe, belief is such a powerful emotion
And I
that
will
it can help anything move.
absolutely. And here's another analogy. Um, you're going to, and I think we mentioned this before. You go sit down at the diner, restaurant. You have a
Yes,
menu. You pick your food that you like. Give me whatever, cheeseburger and fries, right? And the waiter takes it, goes away, and there's an expectation that within a reasonable amount of time, you're going to have what you ordered. There is a belief, there is a faith that there is no
yes,
reason why that burger and french fries cannot come to you, right? May come a little late,
exactly.
but you know in your heart, you place the order, and now you go back and, you know, chat with your partner, whatever, and it comes. Why
Yes.
can't we not do that with other things in life? I mean, why is it so hard for us to do that with setting the expectation of getting that job?
Well, here is the thing. If you don't learn, you won't apply, and if you don't apply, that understanding does not come. And they like to call him King Solomon or Prophet Solomon, but he said one thing: "In all thy getting, get understanding."
That's right.
We have to educate ourselves about who we are and what we're capable of doing. There are limitless possibilities and ways for you to get from where you are to where you want to be in life. But again, it's each and every person's responsibility for his own. We have a lot of people. Let's say, for example, this is what I mean when a person is in alignment or not in alignment. If somebody is not in alignment with wealth, when they win the lotto, in 5 years or less, they're broke again. They're not in alignment with wealth. But grab a wealthy person and strip him of his money. He'll come back making it as quick as possible, probably even double it. Why? Because they're aligned, they're conditioned themselves that way. The great news is that it doesn't matter where you are at this point in life. The great news is you can always recondition yourself.
I
If
love that.
others did it, so can you. Everybody has the same amount of potential. Physically, maybe we be different, but the potential is equal.
Elaborate on that a little bit. Why do you say the potential is equal in everyone when everyone really sees themselves different?
Because God has blessed each with a mind, that mind that's identical across all beings, all human beings. It's the invisible side of yourself. It's the higher side of your personality. It's the use of your six faculties, six higher faculties, which is imagination, reason, will, perception, memory, and intuition. That's the invisible side. Everybody has access to it, and that's your part of
Mhm.
your spiritual DNA. The divine is perfect, so is your spiritual DNA. There's no short. If everything moves from spirit to form, and you can access your higher faculties by the use of your intellect, everybody can do that. That's the only area where you have the full free will and ability to control if you choose. But again, it's your responsibility.
And you just said it, it's a choice. Everyone
Yes,
has been given the freedom to make a choice. And I believe that a lot of, what goes on in our lives, we blame others for what's going on, for the results we have in our life. But we can't see that if you really trace back, at some point there was a choice that the individual had to make that connects it to the results. Um, this is golden information you just gave, Ahmed, because anyone can go and replay what you just said and understand that this is a law. You
yes,
described a universal law here that everyone has the potential. Mind and is movement. Mind is not physical. We can't touch the mind. Mind
yes.
is
And the
energy that lives within all of
yes,
us. And until we tap in to that greater side of us, the higher side of us, that is where magic happens because you're now aware of it and it can
absolutely.
turn your life around. But you have to learn and understand
You,
that it's there, right?
here's what I have experienced. Like personally, my life did not change until I was honest with me.
Of course.
Question is, Are you honest with you? You're living a life that nobody can see the secret side of yourself except you. Only you know what's best for you. You know what needs to be done. And if you're
I
not
say,
doing it,
I say we all have a twin, a hidden twin, right? It's the
yes,
one that I know, I know you, but then there's one that only you know you,
as Napoleon
and that's
said,
that little voice.
everybody has the other self.
That's right. That's right. And what happens, when we don't, when we're not aware of the other self, we tend to ignore it until the other self starts giving you messages that cannot be ignored any longer. And sometimes is through pain and suffering.
Question is, why wait until that time?
Right.
Start now, whether you're ready or not. Write down your goals, decree it. As Bob always said, the moment you write it down, it's already yours. Why? Think of it. It was a thought, it was in the ether. But by writing it down in symbols, anybody else can read it. You've brought it in. It's no longer in the ether anymore.
That's right. Do auto suggestion, write it down every day. And these are the daily practices that are important in order to manifest the things you want in your life, is to always work towards them and always keeping it in your mind, and let that be your aim, your purpose.
And here's why writing down is so important. It's been I recently saw a video where a scientist was explaining. He said when you write something down, you're in direct communication with the subconscious mind because you're writing it with a limb, with your hand, right? So it's part of your body. The body's emotional. And when
Hmm.
we said thoughts, feelings, and action, and the body will always move in that direction. So to reprogram faster, when you write your goal down, as Bob said, when you're writing causes thinking, and
Yeah.
then thinking induces the feeling.
Feeling, right?
So, but when you're writing it down, don't make it feel like a chore. Write it with love. Love is one of the greatest powers of the universe.
The
God
highest
is
emotion
love,
there is.
and love is
Yeah,
God.
absolutely. Absolutely. It reminds me of when you go out and you're buying, searching for a home, and you walk into, a home, and you're like, oh my goodness, this is so
Yes.
beautiful, this is going to be mine. And you get that thought, and you start to imagine all the things you need to do to make that home yours. And you can imagine yourself walking in the kitchen and the bathrooms and the rooms, and then all of a sudden, right, not all the time, but depending how much attention you give it, it will manifest, and that's happened to me. It will become yours.
The
It's
more the more you give your emotions to it, the more you fall in love with it, the
Yeah,
more energy you're putting out in that direction.
right.
Now here's the thing. You if you make it an obsession and you work toward it, believe me, the things that will be revealed to you in your life, it will stagger you. As I said, when you apply a lot of emotions and focus and controlled attention, what happens is it's like you're narrowing all of this energy, the thought energy, into a single point in order to penetrate through.
That's like what
You can
athletes
cause,
do.
yes,
Don't the
you're
athletes
laser
do that?
focused.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And your will gets so strong. And that is the use of the will. What is the will? It's focusing on a single idea in exclusion of everything else. Right? If for example, you're in prom night and there's this wonderful, you know, person you're attracted to. How focused are you on this person? You know, if you can focus the same way on your goal with all the love that you have, without anything else penetrating in between. You can get into that alignment faster. It may
Absolutely.
be difficult at first, but with discipline, and that's what we learn at the self-discipline camp every morning,
That's
it
right.
really helps to build that habit.
I encourage anyone who wants to join us, go to NapoleonHillInstitute.com, and it's the discipline camp is happening all over the world. So we have, everyone is starting, have started January 3rd. Join us, because this is where, when you become self-disciplined, you're in control of a lot of the results in your life, and you're setting the good intentions from the minute you wake up. Let's take this to a landing. Your final words, Ahmed?
If you want to change your life on the outside, you have to first change your life on the inside. And there's no better way than to be self-disciplined.
Create the daily practices, and being in alignment is crucial for anyone's success and to live
Absolutely.
harmoniously. So, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Ahmed, thank you so much for your wisdom. I know that, this is so, so important. And I really hope that a lot of people press replay over and over again to really understand and see how important it is, and the tips that you have given us during the session to really help them be more connected and in alignment so they can live a happy life. Well, thank you everyone
Thank you.
for joining us, and we
See you
will
all
see
next
you
week.
next week.
Thank you for joining me on Sparking Change for Harmonious Living. I hope that our episode today has ignited a spark within you to create positive change in your own life and in the world around you. To learn more about how you can become a guest or supporter, head over to sparkingchangenow.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing, sharing, and leaving a review. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to me, and it helps me to continue producing content that sparks change in each of us and the world. You can find us on various platforms, including Google Play Store, Apple App Store, YouTube, Facebook, Roku, Android TV, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to having you join me again next week on Sparking Change for Harmonious Living.